Welcome to everyone. So today we'll discuss lesson disk scheduling from mass storage management of module 4. So here we are going to discuss, we already discussed the mass storage management overview, disk structure and how to attach the disks to a computer system in the previous lesson or previous presentation. Now we are going to discuss the next topic, that is disk scheduling. So what actually here we are going to do, how you are going to schedule or how you are going to service the request of the processes or the user request the information from the disk, that is IO operations on a disk. So here one of the responsibility of the operating system is to use the hardware efficiently. That is the responsibility of the operating system. And for the disk drives here, so here we are going to discuss the hardware called as a disk. For the disk drivers, the responsibility of the operating system is having fast access time and the large bandwidth. We need to provide faster access time and the bandwidth should be large. Bandwidth means what? The transmission of the data from computer to memory, disk and disk to memory or computer memory. So here we are going to consider the two major components with the access time. That is, one is seek time and another one is rotational delay. When you want to access any data from the disk, we are going to consider these two things here. So that what is the seek time here? It is the time for the disk arm to move the heads to the cylinder containing the desired sector. So here we are moving to get the any information, we have to move the specified sector. To get that sector, we are need to move the heads to the cylinder containing the desired sector. That is called as seek time here. So there is another thing that we are going to consider in the access time. These are the two major components of access time when you are going to get the data from the disk. Another one is rotational delay. It is the addition time for the disk to rotate the desired sector to the disk head. So whatever the time required to rotate, you have seen the diagram in the previous lesson. There is a need of rotation of the disks or the cylinder to get or to reach to the desired sector in the disk. So for that, and that rotational time we are going to consider as a rotational delay. These two components are going to be considered as a access time. And the second thing that is going to be called as a bandwidth, this is also need to be improved when you are going to schedule the disk for doing the IO operation. So what actually it is bandwidth means? Bandwidth, it is the total number of bytes transferred divided by the total time between the first request for service and the completion of the last transfer. That is called as what here? Bandwidth. So after seeing these definitions, what is access time and the components of access time and the bandwidth. So now when you have to schedule the disk in such a way that, or you have to use the hardware disk drive efficiently in such a way that we can, or we have to improve the both the access time and the bandwidth by scheduling the service of the disk IO request in a good order or in a efficient order. So we have to, there are n number of requests are going to be generated by the different processes or the applications in the system. Those requests, or if one of the process using the disk and some other requests are arrived or raised, those requests are going to be maintained in the device queue that already we have covered in the while discussing the process chapters. So now whatever the requests are maintained in the device queue, that is what here, whenever a process needs IO or IO2 or from the disk, IO2 or from the disk, it issues a system call to the operating system. After issuing the system call to the operating system, the request specifies several pieces of information. That is, first is whether the operation is input or output. That is, that first thing is what operation is input or output. The second thing, it is going to verify the disk address for the transfer, disk address for transfer of the information from which or which sector you are going to transfer. Then it is going to see the memory address where you are going to locate or from or to or from, memory address, disk address, and the last it requires the number of sectors transferred, how many number of sectors. These are the things that is going to be considered here once the request specifies several pieces of information. Then by seeing these all, we are going to perform the scheduling of the disk. So here how you are going to schedule the disk here. If the desired disk drive and the controller are available, the request will be or request can be serviced immediately. For example, if the process P1 requests IO operation from the disk, then if it is free, if this IO or the disk is free, then this request will be serviced immediately. The request will be serviced immediately. Otherwise, if the drive or controller is busy, if the controller or drive is busy, controller or disk drive is busy, then a new request, the new request for service will be placed in the device queue of which request here? Pending requests. Pending request will be kept in the device queue when that device is busy to doing the some task on behalf of the other processes. So for what is going to happen here, for multi-programming systems here, there is a multi-programming systems are there. For the multi-programming system with many processes, the disk queue may often have a several pending requests here, or the might often have several pending requests. Now what is going to happen here? Therefore, when a request is completed, when the disk has completed the request, then the question is, therefore, when request is completed, the operating system choose which pending request next here, which process or which request will be serviced by the operating system. So now the question here is how the OS operating system make this choice. Which choice here? Which request or which pending request is going to be serviced next here. So for this, there are several algorithms or disk scheduling algorithms are available. So you are going to use any one of the several disk scheduling techniques are going to be used to solve this question or the problem. Which problem here? How to choose or how the operating system make this choice. What choice here? To choose once the disk completed the request, OS chooses which pending request next. For that we are using the several disk scheduling algorithms or techniques that we are going to discuss one by one next. Now here we will see which are the several disk scheduling algorithms here. There are different disk scheduling algorithms are there. Disk scheduling algorithms are, first one is FCFS, first come first serve. Second one is SSTF, that is shortest seek time first. Third one is scan. Fourth one is C-scan. And fifth one is look. And sixth one is C-look. These are the different algorithms available for scheduling the disk to service the pending request. And these different algorithms are going to be used by the operating system to service the request. And how these are going to be service the request, we'll go on discussing one by one. So first we will see the FCFS. As you know, we have studied different algorithms in process scheduling and in the page replacement algorithm. First, FCFS means what here? First come or first in first service. First come first serve. This is the way we are going to serve here. How we are going to service that we are going to discuss with one example here. For all the algorithms we are going to take a one simple example. The sequence of services or the request need to be serviced here. So first of all we will see the FCFS. So this is a FCFS, means first in or first come first serve. So here this is the simplest one. This is the simplest algorithm of disk scheduling, that is first come first serve. But there is a problem with this algorithm. This algorithm is intrinsically fair, but generally does not provide the fastest service. It does not provide fastest service. It is simple, efficient and good, but it is not going to provide a fastest service. So now we will see here how it is going to service how the operating system service the pending requests by using the FCFS. Consider the example. We will take one example. So here we are going to take a example, a disk queue with a requests for IO to blocks on cylinders. So which are those requests? First it is requesting the cylinder number 98, sector number 98, then 183, then 37, then 122, and then 14, 124, 65 and 67. This is a sequence of requests arrived and they are pending in the queue. We are going to service one by one here by considering or by assuming that disk head is initially at cylinder 53. Now we are going to service the request here. The cylinder head initially pointing to the service request 53 here, and we are going to take a queue the cylinders from 0 to 199, and we will list all these numbers on the line by starting with which one is smallest here, 14. Then we'll start, the next one is 37, and then next is 53, that is the number where the read write head is pointing 53. 98, sorry, next 65, then 67, then which one is there next, 98. In the sorted order we have to go on listing, then 122, then 124, and last 183. So these are the requests we have pointed here. Now where is the read write head is pointing at the 53rd location, and now you are going to service the remaining pending request. They are waiting in the device queue or a disk queue. So now which service or which request arrived first, that is going to be serviced here. The first request arrived is 98, that will be serviced first, and then followed by 98 you are going to service the next request, that is 83. The head will move to the 183. Then from that location the next request you are servicing is 37. It will come back to this 37. After that you are servicing the next request, that is 122. We have to move to the 122. Then from the 122 you are servicing the next request, that is 14. After the 14, which request you are servicing here? After the 14, 124. We'll go to the 124. Then next, after 124 you are servicing the next request, that is 65, and then last request is 67. So in this fashion we are servicing the request one by one here. So once again I will repeat here. From 53 it will move to the 98, from 98 to 183, and from 183 to 37, and from 37 to 122, and from 122 to 14, and then 124, and then 65, and then lastly we are servicing the last request that is arrived is 67. So in this fashion we are servicing all the requests here, and now we will see how many number of total cylinder movements we have did here. Total 640 cylinders we have moved to service these all requests. How many movements we have did here? 640 cylinders. The total head movements of 640 cylinders. So how it is going to be, or how this count is we have calculated. Just see here, the total number of moments that is required from 53 to 98. So what you do here, subtract, that is 98 minus 53. How much value will get here? You see, 8 minus 3 means 5, and 45 it is how much it is? 45. Like this we will go on calculating for the remaining also. We'll do what here, next request services are, we'll go on calculating one by one. Next, from 98, which service? 183 you are servicing. 183 minus 98 here, 13, 7 here, 7 means it is, sorry, it is not a 5 it is. And then total means you are going to get here 8 and 0. This is the second. Total number of cylinder head movements are 85, and you are moving from the request 98 to 183. From 183 to 37, 183 minus 37, so you will get around 146 is the value. So like that you are moving from 37 to again 122. So here 122 minus 37, the result is 85 again. And then from here 122 to 14 you will come, 122 minus 14, so you are going to get around 108 is the result. And then from 14 you are moving to again where 124, to the request 124 you are moving. Then 124 minus 14 again, the result is 110. And from there 124 you are servicing the next request, that is 65. You are servicing which request here? 65. So here what you are going to do, 124 minus 65, the result is 59. And next from that services, in last service you are servicing here 65 to, you are moving to which request here? 67 you are servicing. So 67 minus 65 you are going to get a result. So here first 98 minus 53, I will take here only 45. So first you are servicing the request from 53 to 98, and then from 98 to 183, then 183 to 37, 37 to 122, and 122 to 14, and 114 to 124, and 124 to 65, and 65 to 67. This is the last request you are searching. So now you add these all results that you have got here: 45, 85, 146, 85, 108, 110, 59, and 02. Total, so just you are going to get here 640. 10, 21, 29, 40, 38, 40, 4, 12, 16, 24, 25, 30, 34, 1, 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6. Total how many cylinder head movements we required here to service all the request is 640. Like this way we are going to service the request by using the disk scheduling algorithm. So this is the first come first serve disk scheduling algorithm. It is simple, but what here, this simple but not efficient, because it is going to take the access time is not improved here. So because why it is not improved, just see one example here. the access time efficient, but what we have taken here provides the fastest, it will not provide the fastest service, means access time is less here, need not remove here. For example, just see the example here. So when you are going to service the request, that is 52.398, so when you are servicing, there is two more services are going to arrive, 65 and 67, but they are not serviced directly, it will move to the 98 because it is arrived first. So like that, another example you can take here, from 183 to 37 we have came, and from 37 to we have went to 122 without servicing the request, what here 14. So if you service the 14 after 37, if you service it 14 and then you went to the 122, then it will improve the access time. But here we are not servicing directly, we are moving to 122 because it is a first arrived than the request 14. That's why first come first service basis you are doing here, so it will not, does not provide the fastest service. That is a problem we are going to face with the first come first serve scheduling algorithm. To overcome this problem, we are going to use the next, this is SSTF, shortest seek time first. This is the algorithm we are using to service the requests that we are going to discuss